What's going on, guys? Coach Benjamin here, Foundations Baseball Development. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I had an interesting interaction earlier this week with a player that I'm coaching, comparing himself to a lot of other guys in his high school that have already committed to UW and Stanford, Division I colleges. Um, and kind of getting down on himself because he didn't think he was good enough to be at that level. I'm telling you, he is, um, but he's got to keep developing. But I wanted to talk about the comparison of comparing yourself to someone else and the difference between comparison and admiration. Um, Number one, should never compare yourself to someone else thinking they're better than me. Um, there are a lot of other coaches that have been doing it longer than me. There are a lot of other YouTube content creators that have been doing it better than me. But the only thing that I can do is get better at my craft with coaching or content creation or whatever it is. That's the only thing that I can control. Control the controllables. If I take care of what's here and here, then what happens out there is going to take care of itself. Now, there's a big difference between comparison and admiration. When I was growing up, I always mimicked my favorite players, like Ken Griffey Jr. I almost always mimicked his batting stance. And tried to mimic his swing because it's the sweetest swing that baseball's ever seen. Um, so, they say mimicking is the highest form of flattery. And I don't know a single kid from my generation that didn't have their favorite players and try to mimic their style. For the Seattle area, mostly it was Ken Griffey Jr. So big difference between trying to compare myself to Ken Griffey Jr., but he's the greatest of all time, in my opinion, so there is no comparison, and actually trying to learn from him. I think if you admire someone's skill, then you kind of try to pick out what they're doing and you try to learn from them. I mean, there's a reason that all these guys are on YouTube and, breaking down swing analytics and pitching mechanics and all of that stuff. And, you can see Mike Trout's swing, or you can see Julio Rodriguez's swing, or Felix Hernandez mechanics in slow motion, and they get broken down. So instead of comparing yourself to that D1 commit or that, college commit or this guy who's playing minor league baseball or whatever, what can you learn from these people? What can you learn about their process? And I think there's a big difference in the two, a huge difference in the two. I doubt that Julio Rodriguez or Mike Trout or Justin Verlander or any of these baseball household names are thinking about who is better than them. I guarantee you they got to where they are only worried about how they could be better themselves, and they go out and they work and they train and they work and they train and they work hard. They give it everything that they have. I always said when last year when I was coaching a team of 14-year-olds, really don't care about the score at the end of the game. I mean, winning's fun. All I care about is that every single one of my guys left everything they had on the field. Give it everything you got, everything. And as long as you can look yourself in the mirror and honestly say that you gave everything you had, then that's a success. You can only compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And if you're better today than you were yesterday, you're going to have success. It's pretty exciting news. Most of you know my website is live, foundations-baseball.com. Huge thanks to Rouvier Agency for getting that put together. It's still in the works, but it is live. I'm gonna put a link in the description below so you guys can visit that. Last thing I'll say, how do we build a house? Got to start at the foundation. Thanks a lot, guys.